Section 85 of the Expedition of Humphry Clinker. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Expedition of Humphry Clinker by Tobias Smollett. Section 85. To Mrs. Mary Jones at Brambleton Hall. Mrs. Jones, Providence hath been pleased to make great halteration in the pasture of our affairs. We were yesterday 3 kipple chained, by the grace of God, in the holy bands of mattermoney, and I now subscribe myself LOYD at your sarvice. All the parish allowed that young Squire Dallison and his bride was a comely pair for to see. As for Madame Lashtonahego, you knows her pickilarities. Her head, to be sure, was fantastical, and her spouse had wrapped her with a long 'Merican furs cloak from the land of the selvages, though they say it is of immense vally. The captain himself had a huge hassock of air, with 3 tails, and a tum-tawdry coat, boddered with sulphur. One said he was a monkey bank, and the old bottler swore he was the born image of Titidall. For my part, I says nothing, being as how the captain has done the handsome thing by me. Mr. LOYD was dressed in a light frog, and checket with gold binding, and though he didn't enter in caparison with great folks of quality, yet he has got as good blood in his veins as arrow private squire in the county, and then his pursing is far from contentable. Your humble sarvant had on a plain pea-green tabby sack, with my runella cap, rough toupee, and side curls. They said I was the very moral of Lady Rickmanstone, but not so pale. That may well be, for her ladyship is my elder by 7 good years and more. Now, Mrs. Mary, our satiety is to supperate. Mr. Milfart goes to Bath along with the Dallisons, and the rest of us push home to Wales, to pass our Christmarsh in Brambleton Hall. As our apartments is to be the Yellow Pepper, in the 3rd story, pray carry my things thither. Present my compliments to Mrs. Gwyllim, and I hope she and I will live upon decent terms of civility. Being, by God's blessing, removed to a higher sphere, you'll excuse my being familiar with the lower sarvants of the family, but, as I trust you'll behave respectful, and keep a proper distance, you may always depend upon the goodwill and protection of Yours, W. LOYD, November 20. End of Section 85. End of The Expedition of Humphry Clinker by Tobias Smollett.